everyone, it is the last midnight and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a video that I wish I would have seen when I was first starting out doing drag makeup. That is a video doing a full face, or as much of a full face as I can, with just drugstore products. I think there's an inclination when you start doing drag or get into makeup or whatever, that you have to go to the makeup store and like spend a bunch of money on really expensive stuff, and that's not really the case. Most of my drag makeup is from Walgreens, CVS, Target, really affordable places and some really great stuff. So I don't think it's like, don't get me wrong, I've got some, fancy schmancy stuff too from like Ulta and Sephora and all of that, but I don't really think it's super necessary, especially when you're first starting out, just kind of learning what works for your face. I thought I would do a video of a whole face of drugstore products. I'm going to talk you through some of my favorites, and yeah, so let's get started. Now to prep my face, I always moisturize and then use a primer. I've been really into this Neutrogena Hydro Boost. This I got from Target. I like it because it is gel-based, so it's really good because I have really oily skin, and it doesn't make my skin feel oily. And I like that, so I like this stuff a lot. It's good for all skin types, but if you have really oily skin, a gel-based moisturizer is usually best because it doesn't make your skin like oilier. For primer, my tried and true, I love the e.l.f. Poreless Putty. Oh wait, that was horrible. The e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I love this. I said it in other videos, I've got really textured skin, which you can see in my last video because I did a lot of this. And I like this stuff because it really helps kind of, A, mattify the skin, but B, it doesn't like completely get rid of all your texture, that would be impossible, but really helps even out the skin tone. And I like that because, again, I have got really bad textured skin from all my years of cystic acne, and I like this stuff a lot. Now, for foundation, there are a couple ones that I really, really, really like. One of them is the Maybelline Superstay Activewear. It is matte. It's long-lasting. I love this foundation. It is liquid, however, and liquids tend to be water-based, so they will most likely sweat through this if you are a sweater or a jumper. So if you sweat a lot, you might sweat through this. This is really good, obviously, for like doing things like this. It's really full coverage. It's really affordable. You can, again, get it at Walgreens, CVS, Target. When I say drugstore, also I mean like places that are more affordable, that aren't, like I said, Ulta, Sephora. So places like Target, Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, your local grocery store. I know here in Detroit we have Meijer, which is like our big chain grocery store, and they have a ton of makeup there, just a ton. So when I say drugstore, I mean like affordably priced places. The one that I really, really, really like and will be using today is this Revlon Color Stay. Full coverage, matte. It's like it almost looks like cake frosting, which I think I said in one of my last videos. But like it's really, really thick and it's full coverage. And I just love this stuff. So I would 10 out of 10 recommend. My only qualm is like the little tubies are very small. You don't need a ton because it is so matte and so full coverage, but they are very, very small. So I go through a lot of them. Now, one of, I think, the best things that affordable drugstore makeup has done is e.l.f. These e.l.f. Camo Concealers are chef's kiss. I have them in a variety of colors. I use them mostly for my highlighting and contouring. This is what I use the most. Because I've got everything from a very, very, very deep, like, rich, ebony, chocolatey color to white. Everywhere in between. So I use the lighter colors for my highlight and the deeper colors for my contour. Of course, they're not the only things that I use, but as far as like drugstore affordable makeup, they are so good. They're so matte. They're so full coverage. The only, I would say, like, not really downside, but they do dry down really fast. So usually, like, I'll apply, like, if I know I'm going to do something that's going to take me a while, I'll just apply like one side and then finish what I'm doing and then do the other side. Otherwise, you'll have to really get your sponge really wet. But besides that, they are gold. So I'm going to do the mask of my face. And then I'll start my eyebrows and we'll do eyes. And then I will do foundation and we'll go from there. So I'm going to start the mask of my face by going in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is the color Fair Warm. I'm just going to go around the perimeter of my eyes as sort of like a background for my shadow, as well as drawing on my eyebrows. And I like to use a lighter color in the mask of my face because it helps the eyeshadow really pop. And then I'm pretty sure I said this in one of my last videos, but I like to start with my eyes and my eyebrows because that way if I mess up my eyes, I can just wipe off and start again. I don't have to worry about like ruining my entire makeup because I messed up my eyebrows or my eyeshadow or anything like that. So I like to start with this and then move on to foundation. Also, a little tip that I do is I know some people will like soak their sponges, but then they dry it really quick. So I keep a little bottle of water. This is like an old setting spray, and then I can just oh god, all over my mirror. I can just do this, and it stays hydrated, and then I can blendy blend my makeup. Now for my eyebrows, I like really dark eyebrows. I use this Maybelline New York Lasting Drama Gel Eyeliner. This is what I use for my eyebrows. Oh, God. I know there are like brow pomades out there and things like that, but I like black eyebrows, and when I discovered that I liked black eyebrows, I didn't have anything, so I just use this, and it really works. So I take a very, 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 very teeny tiny little brush like this, and I'll draw them on. Okay, these eyebrows were a struggle. So now that my eyebrows are on and the concealer mask is on, I have a really good base for my eyeshadow. I will say that in all of the drugstore makeup products that I have, eyeshadow is the one that's like the biggest hit or miss. There's a lot of crappy eyeshadow out there. However, there are some really, really good brands, and one brand that has really good eyeshadow is e.l.f. And I love these little tiny e.l.f. palettes. They're like, I want to say $5 maybe, and they come in great colors, and they're super pigmented, and they're great. They're a great formula. Another really good makeup company that has really good makeup at affordable prices is Revolution. As you can see, I've used this mattes, this like rainbow mattes palette quite a bit. I love this palette. Again, really pigmented, super easy to work with. Another brand that has really good eyeshadow is NYX. So I bought this little Pride palette, or this like rainbow palette around Pride last year. Again, super affordable. I mean, they're not going to be, you know, as good as Natasha Denona or, you know, those really high-end brands. But for drugstore, especially for, you know, when you're just trying to figure out how to do drag makeup and kind of play around and figure out your face, like these are really good, really, really good makeup eyeshadows to start out with. So I'm going to work today with this little e.l.f., this little neutral e.l.f. palette. I used this green one before, so I want to try this one and see how it goes. So I'm going to go in first with this deeper brown color right here on like a small, like dense, fluffy-ish brush. And get some pigment on there. All right. And then I'm just going to, right where my brow bone is, I'm just going to start packing on pigment there to kind of start defining my crease. Like from just a few passes, like look how pigmented that is. And this was like $5. I mean, and what I also love about this is it takes the guesswork out of like what colors to use. It's literally like, okay, here's a neutral palette. It's got 2 browns, a black, and a shimmer. Same thing with this. 2 greens, a shimmer, and a glitter. Like, just, it's amazing. And then next I'm going to go in with the lighter brown shade with a fluffier brush. Lighter, not as dense, fluffy brush. And just go along the edge of where the deeper brown and my skin meet and just buff that out in little like windshield wiper motions. Just back and forth until I'm happy with the blend. And as I am blending, I'm also taking it out this way to help create that sort of cat eye effect that I want. And once I have that lighter shade where I like it, I'm going to go back in with the deeper shade and just reinforce that color. It kind of got a little bit lost from blending out, which is typically normal. So typically I'll like lay down the deepest shade first and then blend it out with the lighter ones and then go back in and kind of reinforce everything. I'm a big proponent of using as like little brushes as possible, which I'm not always successful in. So if you wanted, you could also then, after you're done deepening that deeper shade, you can take a fluffy brush that's clean with no product on it and just blend it between the two colors to help really marry them together. But definitely not necessary. Now, like I said, because I'm a proponent of using as little brushes as possible, I'm going to take that really dense small brush I used to pack on that deeper brown shade and just clean it off. Just get as much product off as I can. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then I'm going to dip into this black color here, which looks like it has like a, I don't know if you can see. It looks like it has like a little bit of glitter in it, which I'm not mad at. Really pack it on that brush. And then I'm going to grab a little card here, line it up with where my lower lash line is kind of naturally and where I want it to meet. So you can either like, you know, just go straight up. You can go all the way up and make it really snatched. I'm going to do like an in-between here. And then with that black, I'm going to start packing it in the outer corner here, like so. And then I'll move it up, but as I move the brush up, I'm also going to move it out. So that way it creates more of like an eyeliner shape. Because this is how I, like I mentioned in my last video, this is how I fake eyeliner. This is how I do fake eyeliner because I have such hooded eyes that I really can't do conventional eyeliner unless I make it really big and really dramatic, which is not the look I am going for aujourd'hui, which is French for today. Ooh, there we go. That is really pigmented. That's a really good black. I am pleasantly surprised at that. I did not think it was going to be that black. Wow, that's awesome. $5. You know what? I'm going to Google it right now. I'm Googling how much these e.l.f. palettes are because they are just $3. This much pigment in $3. You can't beat that. Look how good that looks. $3. I am like, my mind's blown. I don't remember paying $3. I thought it was $5. Another great thing about doing your eyes first, which I think I said this on my last video, so if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry, is see how like this kind of fallout here I got from the black? No problem, because my face isn't done. I can just whoosh, 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 wipe it up. Another great product that I love to use for my highlights and my cut crease is the Pro Conceal. I think it's by LA Girl. LA Girl Pro Conceal. Again, super affordable, great concealer. It comes in a bunch of different colors. Like I said, I will usually use it to pump up my highlight, and then I'm going to use it right now to cut my crease. I went in like full detail about how I do this in my last video, so if you have any questions about that, please watch that one. I'm going to cut my crease, and I will BRB. Okay, crease is cut. I'm now going to go in with the black. Just dabby, dabby, dabby on my brush. And just kind of marry the black and the white, which I already kind of done from what I did before, but just want to marry those two. And then I want to go into this, I got like a bunch of brown in it, but it has this really pretty silver, and that's what I'm going to put on the crease. I take a flat brush. I'm going to start just tapping it in here and seeing how I like that. And then I'll see if I want to cover the whole crease with it. So I have the silver on the crease. You can't really see it. It's not like super glittery or anything. But then I'm going to take a little bit on this brush and just marry the black and the silver together. And then once I have the crease done, something I like to do to kind of help define everything is I'll go back on the black with like a little brush like this. It's very teeny tiny. And I'll just kind of like, it's hard to describe it. I'll like try to connect. I can do it in the mirror and then also describe it. It's a little black shadow. And I like to connect the wing and kind of bring it up over the crease right here. Just to kind of connect and marry everything. See how it kind of like deepens the crease a little bit? And then I'll go in with that silver and kind of clean it up a little bit. And again, this is something that I could have done at the beginning. I could have just gone in with black on top of the deeper brown. And I do that sometimes. But other times I like to do it this way. There's no right or wrong. The next thing I will do is I will take a white eyeliner. I love the NYX Vivid Matte for this. To be completely transparent, while they do sell NYX, I have yet to see this at any drugstore, so this one is from Amazon. But I do know that obviously NYX is a brand that is sold in drugstores, so I'm sure some have it. Mine didn't. So at the white, I like to go in and just put it where the crease meets the lid to kind of define it. So I'll start here and just like that. See how kind of like how, ooh, blurry. Fun. So you could just kind of help define, you know, where that line is. Okay, once that is done, I'll go in the same eyeliner, the NYX Vivid Matte, this time in black. And because I used the eyeshadow to kind of fake an eyeliner, I just go in with this and just very carefully just draw it onto my lash line. And this kind of mimics the base of the eyeliner. And honestly, this is where my lashes go, so you're not really going to see it. It's more of like a place for my lashes to go. But I think it just helps complete the look. See, I think the black eyeliner helps. Next, I'm going to go in with my concealer. And I'm going to just put a little under my eyebrows to highlight my eyebrows, which came out very thin today. That was not the intention. And then just use a clean finger to just kind of blend that in. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of white shadow from this Revolution palette. And I'll take a little tiny brush like this one. Remember like 10 minutes ago I was like, I like to use as little brushes as possible. See, the road to hell was paved with good intentions. I'm just going to set that. Blend it in. There we go. Ooh, gorge. Okay, the eyes are done. On top of the eyes. I'm going to go in with the Revlon Color Stay Full Coverage Foundation. I'm going to put it on a brush. I'm going to brush it on my face and then use my Beauty Blender to blend it in. And I will be right back. So while I was doing my foundation, I realized I did not glue down the sides of my head or my hair for my wig. So I went ahead and did that. So I'm going to finish the foundation and I will BRB. Okay, now that foundation is on, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. camo, the same I used for the mask of my face, and apply it to all the places I apply my concealer. So I'm going to blend this and I will be right back. Okay, now that I have that camo concealer on, for highlight, I'm going to go back in with this Pro Concealer from LA Girl and just put it in like the corners of my eye, here and here, and then sketch out my nose, or at least try to. And that way, these parts of my face will like really pop. Now for contour, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. Camo Concealer. It's called Deep Cinnamon. And I'm going to put it on the parts of my face where I want contour. And then off camera, I'm going to try to draw on my nose with this and see how that goes. Okay, I think that worked. I like to put a little bit of contour, like make like a sad face like this. A little bit. Right there. Alright, so I'm going to blend this and I will be right back. And now that I have like the basic contour shape, I'm going to go in with this deeper e.l.f. Camo Concealer called Rich Ebony. And I'm just going to deepen up like the pockets of my cheeks. And just like little dabs here just to kind of deepen all of the contour just a little bit. So I've gone in with the deeper concealer. As you can see, like definitely in the nose. And like in the pockets of the cheeks, it makes it just a little bit deeper, as well as up here on my forehead. So to cut my cheek, I'm going to use that same concealer. And I'm just going to draw, like, from the middle of my ear, kind of like line it from like the beginning of my mustache to like the middle of my ear. I don't go all the way down, so let me show you what I mean. So here, I kind of draw like a straightish line, like that. And then I'll blend down. And because I want to keep this as like precise as possible, I like to use one of these little triangle sponges and just blend. Put the straight edge of the sponge against the line and then kind of blend this way so it blends into my cheek and then down. There, doing that kind of gives me like the very high cheek bone, like straight back look that I'm looking for. And I know it looks crazy, but once the creams are down, I will then go in with powder. Now I've used a lot of powders. I would say my favorite Drugstore, which I honestly, this is the caveat. This is from Amazon. I know, I'm pretty sure they sell it at Walmart. So I'm not sure if I can recommend a good drugstore powder, but I am pretty sure they sell this at Walmart. If not, I got 2 of these for like $7 on Amazon. It's Coty Airspun, the original formula. I will say it smells like Old Lady, but it's translucent. It's super affordable and it gets the job done. So I'm gonna powder my entire face using this, and then I will brush it away, and then we'll keep going. So once I'm powdered, as you can see, it really kind of dulls all the contour I do with the cream. So I'm gonna go in with powder highlight and contour. Now this is another caveat because this is what I use for my powder contour. It technically is NYX, so it is a drugstore brand. However, I got this on Amazon. So that's kind of the caveat. However, it is a great palette. It's super affordable. It's got all these fantastic contour shades. It has a really great highlight shade that I was like touching pan and then it like busted. So there's that. But it's super affordable. I want to say it was like $20, and I've had this for at least 6 months now, if not longer than that. And all the contour shades are still there. So 10 out of 10 recommend. Again, it's a drugstore brand. If you can find it at a drugstore or like a Target or a Walmart, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure I bought this on Amazon, and it was like, I think like $25. So to start the powder contour, I'm going to go in with this like fluffy angled brush here, but any fluffy brush will work. And I'm going to start with this cooler shade here and just get that all up in my brush, and then take some cardstock and just deepen up the pocket of my cheek. Take a little bit more like that, and then I kind of work it down. There we go. So apparently my mic wasn't on for this part, but basically what I do is I go in with that cooler shade and it's kind of right across my temples and up to the forehead. And then I go in with a little bit of a deeper shade just to kind of reinforce that cooler color, on the cheekbones and up to the temples. And then I go in with the deepest shade and I just put it in the pockets of my cheeks to really add a lot of depth and make my cheekbones hopefully look even higher. And then I'll just take that deeper color, that warmer color, not the deepest, the warmer color, and just take it everywhere else I put contour. So under here, under my nose, and then along the sides of my nose. So for highlight, like I said, my favorite highlight color broke, but there's this other really light shade here. So I'm gonna get that on my powder puff here and just go under the eyes. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna do the sides of the nose so that contour is really emphasized and help with a really snatched nose look. And center the forehead, chin, under the cheekbones, like that. I'm gonna go in now with this Revolution palette and take the light from this palette on a fluffy brush, like this guy. Stick it to that white, and just use that to really highlight like the inner corners of my eye. Just kind of reinforce that really bright. Usually for this, I would use like a Ben Nye Super White, but that is not sold at the drugstore, so I just want to go in and kind of just brighten up the eyes and all the highlighted parts with white shadow. I'm also going to take it under my eyebrows too, just a little bit, just to kind of make that white pop. Now it's time to bake / finish the under eyes. I'm going to take my translucent powder and just carve it here along my cheeks, a little bit on the nose, forehead, chin, and then I'm going to set some not directly under my eyes, but like here, here, and across my nose, just so I can catch any fallout from finishing my makeup. When I finish the eyes, first thing I do is take that liquid, that Vivid Matte Liquid Eyeliner from NYX, and I will just draw in the corner, get it connected to the eyeliner I put on my eyelid. Then, once that's done, I like to go in here and make like a little space to fill in with white, and then just take it right under the lash line. Once I have that, I like to create a little shadow, so that makes it look like my eyelashes are really long. At least I think it does. Once that's done, I'm going to go back to our little e.l.f. palette, dip into the black with that little fluffy brush I used earlier, and I'm just going to smudge out where I put that liner. And once that is smudged out to a place I like, I'm going to go in with that deeper brown color and basically just smudge that out on top of the black. So it doesn't have to be like super neat. And once most of that product is off of that brush, I'm going to go in with that lighter brown and just do the same thing. Just very lightly though, just very lightly, just kind of creating a gradient that repeats what we have on the top. I am then going to take our trusty white liquid eyeliner and just fill in those little spots right there. I'm going to go on black eyeliner and just fill in the waterline. Any black eyeliner will do. This is L'Oreal Infallible 16 Hour. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to grab my powder puff and just line the waterline. And then once that's done, just brush away that powder. Mascara. I go in with this Great Lash from Maybelline, but it's the big kind because the applicator is really big, or it's bigger than like the normal one. And I like this because I always poke myself in the eye. And since this is bigger, it helps me from doing that. Although, to be fair, I wear a pair of 301 lashes. I really only do this to make my eyelashes black again and not all white and powdery. So I don't really care what kind of mascara I'm using as long as it's black. Once I'm done with the top, I clean off the tip of the applicator just kind of like by doing that. And then I'll go in and just kind of basically like color in my bottom lashes. So I went ahead and used the black eyeshadow from the e.l.f. palette and just drew in my, or like colored in my eyebrows with that same really small brush that I used to draw them on, just to give them a little more definition. Now for blush, I actually don't have any drugstore blushes. The only blush palette I have is from Ulta, because a lot of the times I just use eyeshadow, which I think is a really good like tip. It might seem kind of like obvious, but you can use eyeshadow as blush. So I'm going to go in first, I think, with, that's like these three right here, these like three little, I'm just going to dip my brush. Because when you're starting out, like I said, you don't need everything. You don't have to go ham and buy everything. So if you have a really good, eyeshadow palette that's got, some nice pinks and reds or oranges or whatever color you want to use for blush, just use that. Bring the blush up a little bit too. Up to here. That's a personal choice. You don't have to do that. Look how pretty that is. And then I'm gonna stick the brush in this like really deep red right here. Not really deep red, but that deeper red. I just did that all in my pop. Oh well. And I'm just gonna stick it right here, kind of in the pockets. Ooh, that is some. See how pigmented that is? Eyeshadow. You don't need to buy everything. You just gotta use what you can get smartly. Okay, I've gone in and darkened my beard. I use this, I don't know, Pozzolan. It's from Amazon. It's not from the drugstore. But I figured darkening in a beard might not be a universal drag queen problem unless you're a bearded queen like me. So if you are, leave a comment. I'll let you know where to find that beard darkener. If also you really wanted to, you could also use black eyeshadow. I can't guarantee like the staying power of black eyeshadow for darkening your facial hair, but it does work because I have used that before. See? Ooh. So the last part before lashes is to do my lips. Now I have to admit that I am not a lip girly. I don't really care about lipstick that much. Like I'm all about the eyeshadow and the blush, but lips I could give or take. So I don't have a ton of lip products, but one trick that I do like is to, instead of using a lip liner, I like to use sometimes, well, first of all, I always use a lip liner, but I sometimes like to use the color of contour that I use to do my lip liner. Especially because like today I want to do like a really, really neutral lip. It's a really good way to kind of give a more natural lip when lining. So I also don't go crazy with my lips. I just kind of follow like the natural shape of them. So I start at the Cupid's bow, especially because I have a mustache. I don't really have to overdraw my top lip a lot since you can't really see it. So I'll just follow like right where my lip and my, like the muscle of my lip and my face. Just kind of follow that. At the bottom, I have this little like where I contoured. I like to start there. And then bring it up. Once I have that filled in, I will then go in with a lipstick. And today I'm going to use this Maybelline New York. It is in Almond Rose. I think it's really pretty like pink color. It's kind of the color of my normal lips, so when I say neutral, that's what I mean. Then I'll take that brush and just kind of marry the two. And then this is an optional step, which I'll do because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a lip girly and I'm not the best at putting on lipstick. So I will go in with my concealer and use that little flat brush to clean it up. Like that. And then I'll take a sponge and just blend it in. And this helps not only clean it up, but create a little more dimension. All right, the only thing left to do is lashes. I don't have a answer to drugstore lashes. However, on Amazon, you can order the 6-pack of 301s. I think it was like $12. You really can't beat that. I'm incredibly ashamed of myself because I forgot highlighter. And highlighter, if you know, is like my favorite part of makeup. So this is the Maybelline New York Master Holograph Highlighter. It comes in a couple different colors. This one is, I don't know. There's a 050 on the back, so maybe that's what it is. But it comes in a couple different colors. I love this highlighter. It is so affordable. It's super bright. I love it. Look at that. Oh, I just love highlighter. It adds so much to a look. And I am just a sucker for anything sparkly. If I can get anything sparkly to my face, I would wear so much more glitter if it wasn't such a freaking pain in the butt to glue on, and like it gets everywhere. Oh boy, okay. There she is. I do want to put some on my lips, but I also forgot again. Apparently I was in a rush to get this video over with, which I'm really not. I'm going to go in with my LA Girl white concealer. I'm just going to dab it a little bit on my hand, just so I don't get it everywhere. And then the center of my lips. Just add just a little bit more dimension. And then I like to go in with gloss. The only drugstore gloss I have is this Revolution gloss, which is great, but I stupidly used it while I had red lipstick on, and so now it's purple. But so cute. It works. And then I like to take a little bit of the highlighter, dip it in, and ooh, that's frosty. Okay, now I'm gonna put lashes on and a wig and an outfit, and I'll be right back. All right, this is the final look. What do you guys think? You know, I think what I really love about this look is how achievable all this makeup is. Like I said, it's all from drugstores or really, really affordable places, and don't let, you know, the mindset that you have to have super expensive makeup or outfits or costumes in order to do drag. You can do drag in any way you want. It really can be accessible for anybody. You know, I know, you know, social media and all that makes us think that we have to have the best of the best. But like, you know, like for instance, that e.l.f. eyeshadow, that black eyeshadow, this is the best black eyeshadow I've used in a very long time. And I've got some very expensive palettes from, you know, really expensive beauty stores or beauty brands. And, you know, this goes to show that just because it costs $3 doesn't mean it's not good. All right? Just because it's expensive doesn't mean that it is the best. So I really hope you guys learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, this is only my third video. I'm still very new at doing this. So if you guys have any questions or comments or feedback, either about the video or any of the contents or about drag or anything of that, please let me know. Please leave a comment below. Please subscribe. I would really, really love that. And I can't wait to make another video for you all. So again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time,